My girl went live while hooking up with 2 men and said I was just a 6 out of 10. So I switched my relationship status right then, cut her and her whole crew off, and vanished like she never mattered. I believed we were strong. My girlfriend and I had been together for 2 years. Although we had our challenges, I never imagined she would embarrass me like this in front of others. Here's the background. I'm 22 and nearing the end of my computer science degree, specializing in cybersecurity. On the side, I've been managing my own web development and security consulting business since my second year of college, working from home, setting my own hours, and earning around $85,000 annually, while most of my classmates are worried about finding unpaid internships. Life was good. She's 21, studying communications, deeply involved in sorority life. When we first met, she appreciated that I was different from the fraternity guys, admired that I had my life together, had real money, and could take her to nice places. But in the past 6 months, things changed. She started making little remarks about how I was always busy or how we never attended parties anymore. The truth is, I went to many of her events, but I had clients relying on me and projects with deadlines. I wasn't going to skip out on a $15,000 contract to party with her sorority friends. Last night was supposed to be a girls-only night at one of the sorority houses. That was fine with me. I had a security audit to complete for a client. She left around 9 p.m. in a revealing dress, but I trusted her. Around 11:30 p.m., while I was immersed in my work, my phone started buzzing with messages from our mutual friends, all variations of "Dude, are you seeing this?" I checked Instagram and found she was live streaming the entire party. I opened it on my second monitor, thinking I might as well watch while my world fell apart. There she was, intoxicated, dancing provocatively with not one but 2 different guys as if she was auditioning for a music video. Her sorority sisters cheered and filmed every moment. Then someone off camera, her sorority big sister, asked, "Hey, rate your boyfriend." Scale of 1 to 10. She laughed, took another shot, and said, "He's like a 6, maybe a 6.5 on a good day. He's safe, kind of boring. Sits at his computer all day playing with his little websites, but he's sweet, I guess, and the money's nice." I watched her continue dancing with random guys while her audience enjoyed the show. After maybe 10 seconds, I made a decision. While her live stream was still running, with around 200 viewers, I opened Facebook and changed my relationship status to single. Then on Instagram, I removed every picture of us, unfollowed her, and blocked her. I also blocked her on Snapchat and her phone number. I blocked all her sorority sisters and every mutual friend who was at that party. Then I began packing. The great thing about working remotely is that I can do it from anywhere. In an hour, my entire office setup was in boxes, and my clothes were packed. By 1 a.m., my brother, an Army Ranger home on leave, was at my place with his truck. By 2 a.m., my apartment was empty except for the furniture that came with it. I checked her live stream one last time before leaving. She was still going, still drunk, still surrounded by those guys. The viewer count had dropped to about 50. Someone in the comments wrote, "Yo, didn't her boyfriend just change his status to single?" She still hadn't noticed. My brother drove me to his place across town and set me up in his spare room. By 3 a.m., I had my monitors set up and the internet configured for a client meeting at 9 a.m. I couldn't miss out on that money, right? She called for the first time at 3:47 a.m., then again at 3:48, 3:52, and 4:15. By sunrise, I had 47 missed calls and probably 100 texts. Not that I saw them, her number was blocked. However, my brother's girlfriend showed me the screenshots of notifications she was posting on her story, pleading for me to respond. It has been 18 hours now. According to the group chat I'm still part of, using my business account, she showed up at my old apartment at 7 a.m. hungover and frantic. She found it empty and lost it in the parking lot. The property manager had to threaten to call the police. The funniest part is she still doesn't know when I left. For all she knows, I watched her entire performance and stayed for an encore. Her sweet, boring 6 out of 10 ex, who just sits at his computer all day, managed to vanish while she was too drunk to realize she was single. Edit. For everyone asking, yes, I saved the live stream. No, I haven't posted it anywhere yet. Edit 2. Her best friend just sent me a Venmo request for half of dinner from last week. The audacity. I declined and blocked her. Update 1. Wow, this blew up. A lot has happened in 72 hours. Grab your popcorn. First, Let me address some comments from the original post. Yes, I'm sticking to no contact. No, I haven't watched the live stream again. Once was enough. Yes, my brother is a legend. No, I'm not posting the video yet. So, here's what went down. Day 1 after the incident, she apparently spent the entire day trying to track me down. According to sources, I still have friends who weren't at that party. She checked every place she thought I might be. My gym, the coffee shop where I sometimes work, even the library. By 6 p.m., one of her sorority sisters, whom I hadn't blocked, messaged me with a long sob story about how she was hurting and didn't mean what she said, claiming I was being immature for not talking to her. Immature? I launched a successful business at 20. She's 21 and just publicly rated me like I'm an Uber ride. But sure, I'm the immature one. Day 2, Monday, got interesting. I had to go to campus to meet with my advisor about graduation requirements. As I walked across the quad, I heard, "There he is." It was her with 3 of her sisters hot on my trail. Now, I'm 6 feet 2 inches, work out 5 days a week, and run a 6-minute mile. She's 5 feet 4 inches in heels and can barely walk in them. This wasn't even a challenge. I cut through the engineering building, took the back stairs, and was in my car before they figured out which door I used. But here's the kicker. While she was chasing me around campus as if it were a rom-com, I was on a Bluetooth call with a client. I closed a $25,000 website rebuild while literally running from my ex. That's what we call multitasking. That evening, she found out where my brother lives after one of our mutual friends folded. She showed up around 8 p.m., mascara running, demanding to talk to me. My brother answered the door. For context, he's 6 feet 4 inches and 220 pounds of muscle, with a serious resting face. She insisted, "I need to talk to him." He replied, "No, you don't understand. I love him." My brother shot back, "You should have thought of that before you danced with random guys." She replied, "I was drunk." It didn't mean anything. He said, "Neither does this conversation. Leave." She tried to push past him. Bad move. He didn't touch her, just stepped forward and used what he calls his command voice. She left quickly. Day 3, the narrative changed. Now she's telling people I'm controlling and insecure, claiming that's why we broke up. According to her, I couldn't handle her being social and having friends. Funny thing about live streams, they're hard to dispute. I haven't released the video, but I did something better. Remember how I do cybersecurity consulting? Well, I know how to edit videos. I made a 30-second highlight reel of her dancing, her rating me, and her saying the money's nice. No commentary needed. I sent it to 3 people. Her sorority president, her big sister who asked the question, and the guy she was dancing with, whom I found through tagged photos. The results were immediate. The sorority president called an emergency meeting. The big sister was removed from her leadership role. The guy's girlfriend went off on social media. Suddenly, everyone wanted my side of the story. People who hadn't spoken to me in months started messaging me. Her friends were abandoning her faster than rats leaving a sinking ship. The best part? I was thriving. I signed 2 new clients this week. My work-from-home setup at my brother's place is even better than my old apartment. I'm saving money on rent while searching for a better place, and even considering buying a house. Why not? I can afford it. She texted my mom with a sob story about how she made a mistake and how she loves me and knows I'm the one. My mom's response: I raised my son to know his worth. Apparently, you think it's a 6 out of 10. My mom is fierce. I'm graduating in May and already have job offers, but honestly, why take them? My business is projected to earn 6 figures next year. I'm 22, financially stable, and have zero tolerance for nonsense. She wanted excitement. Well, watching her world fall apart has been quite thrilling for me. Edit. Since everyone is asking, the guy's girlfriend thanked me for the video. They're done too. Domino effect. Edit 2, sorority update. She's not expelled, but she's on social probation. No parties, no events, no leadership roles. For someone who lives for that scene, it's basically social death. Update 2. Alright, you all want more drama? Buckle up. This week has been a lesson in watching someone self-destruct. After my last update, things were pretty quiet for about 48 hours. I focused on work, nailed a presentation for a Fortune 500 company. Yeah, I'm 22 pitching to executives, boring, right? And started house hunting. Then Thursday came, the confrontation. I was in my brother's spare room on a video call with a client in Japan. It was 2 p.m. here, 4 a.m. there, but money never sleeps, especially when there's a $40,000 contract involved. I heard noise downstairs. My brother was at work, and his girlfriend was in class. Then I heard her voice. She had picked the lock or had someone do it. I later found out it was some guy from her friend group who knew how to do that. Criminal behavior, but okay. I was mid-sentence explaining cloud infrastructure when she burst into my room on camera with a Japanese executive who was very confused about why a crying girl was in the background during our security briefing. I said, "Apologies, Mr. Tanaka. It seems we have a security breach. One moment, please." I muted myself and turned off the camera. She insisted, "We need to talk." I replied, "You need to leave before I call the police." She said, "I'm not leaving until you hear me out." I warned her, "You have exactly 10 seconds before I unmute this call and explain to my client that my ex broke into my home." She started crying, performing, saying she was just joking around and that the rating was a joke and everyone knows she loves me more than anything. I replied, "You broke into my home to tell me you love me? That's not love, that's a crime." Then came the gaslighting. "You're overreacting, it was just dancing." I responded, "In a public performance review, apparently." She said, "I was drunk." I replied, "In vino veritas." She said, "Stop using big words. This is why I said you were boring." There it was, the mask slipped. I told her, "Get out." She tried another tactic, moving closer, being seductive, saying, "Remember how good we were together? I know you miss me." I rolled my chair back and said, "I have a client waiting, and you're trespassing. Leave now or I'll call the police." She replied, "You wouldn't?" I pulled out my phone, dialed 911, and put it on speaker. Her expression went pale. She bolted out of the room, down the stairs, and out the door. I told the dispatcher, "Sorry, false alarm. My ex-girlfriend was here, but she just left." I unmuted with Mr. Tanaka and said, "My apologies for the interruption. As I was saying about the encryption protocols, I closed the deal for $40,000 while she was screaming about feelings. The aftermath. That evening, I received a call from an unknown number. It was her dad, playing the dad card. He said, 'Son, we need to talk about my daughter.' I responded, 'With all due respect, sir, your daughter broke into my home.' He said, 'She's young and made a mistake.' I replied, 'She's an adult who committed a crime.' He insisted, 'Now listen here.' I interrupted, 'No, you listen. She publicly humiliated me, stalked me, and then broke into private property. I have everything documented. I haven't pressed charges out of respect for our history, but that courtesy ends if this harassment continues. The social media fallout. After her dad couldn't fix things, she went off on social media, posting about narcissistic exes and men who can't handle strong women, my favorite being, 'When you realize he was intimidated by your light.' My light. I make more than her entire sorority combined. I'm graduating debt-free, can deadlift 405 pounds, and code in 6 languages. But sure, I'm intimidated by someone whose greatest achievement is getting 500 likes on a selfie. The plot twist. Remember the guy she was dancing with? His now ex-girlfriend reached out to me. We had coffee and compared notes. Turns out this wasn't the first time he'd been caught getting cozy with taken women at parties. She's pre-law, sharp as a tack, and was grateful I sent that video. We're not dating or anything. We're just friends now, and she's helping me with the legal side of my business. Win-win. Current status, still maintaining no contact. I have restraining order paperwork ready if needed. My brother installed new locks and security cameras. Business is booming. I just hired my first virtual assistant. I'm ready to make a down payment on a house. Graduation is on track. According to the gossip mill, she lost her sorority leadership position permanently. Half of her sisters won't talk to her. She failed 2 midterms because she was too upset to study. Her parents are threatening to cut her funding. She's still posting cryptic quotes about healing and growth. The best revenge. I'm not even trying to get revenge. I'm just living my life, building my empire, and letting her deal with the fallout of her choices. You want excitement? Congratulations, your life is now a dumpster fire. Meanwhile, I'm boring my way to the bank. Edit. Mr. Tanaka's company referred me to 2 other businesses, adding $60,000 in potential contracts. Thanks for the interruption, I guess. Edit 2. Yes, I changed all my passwords and enabled 2-factor authentication after the break-in. I'm not just a pretty face, people. Update 3. This is likely my second to last update. Why? Because I'm about to go nuclear. After the smear campaign last week following the break-in, I thought she would finally get the message. I was wrong. Instead, she decided to launch a full-scale character assassination. It started with small stories about how I was emotionally unavailable and obsessed with money. Then it escalated to claims that I was controlling and that I had been monitoring her social media and hacking her accounts. Let me be clear. I do cybersecurity for Fortune 500 companies. I don't need to hack my ex's Instagram to see her public stories. But when you accuse a security professional of cybercrimes, that's not just petty, it's potentially career-ending. 3 of my clients called to ask about these rumors, and 1 almost pulled a contract. Time to end this. The evidence locker. Remember how I saved that live stream? Well, that's not all I saved. When you date someone for 2 years, you accumulate things. Text messages, voice memos, videos. Like the one from last year, where she's drunk and admits she's only with me because I'm going places and will probably be rich soon. Or the text where she brags to her friends about how I paid for her spring break trip while texting her ex. Or my favorite, the voice memo where she practices asking me for money for her sorority dues while saying she'll use it for a shopping spree. I never cared before. People say dumb things. We all have our moments. But when you try to ruin my professional reputation, gloves off. The strategic strike. I didn't blast everything on social media like some suggested. I'm not trying to destroy her life, just protect mine. So I was surgical. First, I sent a cease and desist letter through an actual lawyer. Remember the pre-law girl? She has connections. Legal letterhead tends to make people take things seriously. Second, I created a simple website, nothing fancy. I'm a web developer. It took me 30 minutes. The URL was her first name, last name, truth.com. On it was just the live stream clip, the 30-second highlight reel where she rates me and talks about money. Nothing else, no commentary, no context needed, just her own words. Then I did something petty. I optimized it for search engines. Now, when you Google her name, that's the first result. The immediate fallout occurred within 24 hours. Her dad called again, this time apologizing and asking me to take the site down. She posted a Notes app apology on Instagram, classic. Her sorority held another emergency meeting. The university got involved due to the cyberbullying complaint she filed. Here's the thing about complaints. They investigate both parties. The university meeting. I showed up with printed receipts, everything. The break-in police report, the cease and desist, screenshots of her defamation, the original live stream, everything. The dean of students looked at everything and said, Mr. Last Name. This appears to be a case of harassment against you, not by you. Plot twist. Breaking into someone's residence is a violation of student conduct code. So is defamation that affects another student's career prospects. She's now facing disciplinary action and possible suspension, the nuclear option. But I wasn't finished. Remember those other videos and texts? I compiled them into a neat little folder, labeled it Character Reference Materials, and sent it to 5 people. Her father with a note about what his daughter really thinks about using people. Her sorority president with screenshots of her talking negatively about her sisters. Her academic advisor with evidence of her admitting to cheating. The guy she was dancing with texts where she referred to him as practice for better guys. And her best friend with screenshots of her calling said, Friend fat and jealous. I didn't post anything publicly. I didn't need to. I just gave the right information to the right people and let nature take its course. The current scoreboard. She's facing university disciplinary action, lost her sorority position permanently, might get kicked out entirely. Her parents found out about the cheating, threatening to withdraw funding, lost most of her friend group, and the website about her is the first Google result. As for me, all my clients remained after I showed them the evidence. I just closed the biggest deal of my career. A $100,000 website and security overhaul. I bought a house and will be closing next month. I hired 2 more virtual assistants and plan a month-long working vacation in Europe after graduation. I'm sleeping like a baby. The lesson learned. Don't start a war with someone who has evidence, knows how to use it, has the resources to fight back, and nothing left to lose. She wanted to paint me as the villain. Congratulations. I played the part, but unlike her performance, mine had a script, a strategy, and a satisfying ending. Final thoughts. I'm not proud of going this far, but I'm not ashamed either. She tried to ruin my career, my reputation, and my future. All because she couldn't handle the consequences of her actions. You don't get to publicly humiliate someone, break into their home, try to destroy their livelihood, and then play the victim when they defend themselves. The next update will probably be the last. Graduation is in 2 weeks, and after that, I'm out. New city, new house, new chapter. She wanted excitement. I hope she enjoys the scorched earth she's standing on. Final edit. Yes, the website will stay up until she publicly apologizes and retracts her statements. The ball is in her court. Final edit 2. The pre-law girl and I are not dating. We're just friends and business associates. Not every story needs a rom-com ending. Final edit 3. Her friend group found the website. The reviews are hilarious. 1 star. Would not recommend. That might be my favorite. Final update. Here we are, the last chapter. Graduation day. 2 weeks ago, I walked across the stage to receive my diploma, computer science, magna cum laude, with a successful business generating 6 figures annually. She was there too. Thank goodness for separate departmental graduations. But we had one last encounter that morning. As I loaded my car with my cap and gown, I heard heels clicking on the pavement. I recognized that sound. My name. I turned around. She looked rough, really rough. The Instagram-perfect sorority girl was gone. What remained was someone who learned actions have consequences. I want my life back, she said. That's not my problem. Take down the website. Apologize publicly and retract your lies. I can't. You know I can't. Then we have nothing to discuss. She began to cry, but it was different this time. Not the manipulative tears from before. These seemed real. You ruined everything. No, you ruined everything. I just made sure everyone knew about it. Then she said something that made me pause. I really did love you. I messed it all up for a second. For a moment, I saw the girl I fell for 2 years ago. Before the sorority, before the social media obsession, before the need to be someone she wasn't. Maybe you did, but you loved the idea of me more, the status, the money, the future. You never loved the boring guy who codes at 2 a.m. That's who I really am. I got in my car and drove away. That was the last time we spoke. The aftermath resolution. Last week, her dad reached out one more time. Not demanding or threatening, just defeated. She's dropping out, taking a semester off to figure things out. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? Actually, yeah, I am. This went further than I intended. You could have stopped at any time. So could she. He asked me to take down the website. I thought about it. The damage was done. Point made. Message received. I took it down but kept the domain name just in case. Where she is now, from what I've heard, she withdrew from the university, moved back home with her parents, deleted all her social media, and is working at her dad's company doing basic admin work and going to therapy. Honestly, good for her. Her sorority sisters completely abandoned her. The guy she was dancing with got back with his girlfriend. Somehow, her entire social circle evaporated. Part of me feels bad. Most of me doesn't. Where I am now, I'm typing this from my new home office. Yeah, I bought a house at 22, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a dedicated office space in a different city. My business is now incorporated, with 3 full-time contractors and 2 part-time virtual assistants. That $100,000 contract led to 3 more. I'm on track to hit $300,000 this year. Remember the pre-law girl? We're not dating, but she's handling all my legal affairs. Turns out having a lawyer friend is pretty handy when you run a business. My brother helped me move. He said he's proud of me. Coming from a ranger, that means something. The real final thoughts. Looking back, this whole experience feels surreal. 1 month ago, I was in a relationship I thought was solid. Now I'm in a new city, running a growing business, living in my own house, completely free. She called me boring and said I was a 6 out of 10 safe. You know what? Maybe I am boring. I work 60-hour weeks. I get excited about code optimization. I'd rather land a new client than go to a party. My idea of a wild Friday night is testing new security protocols. But boring bought me a house. Boring built me a business. Boring means I sleep soundly knowing my life is mine, built by my hands, on my terms. If that makes me a 6, fine. I'll take my 6-figure boring life to the bank. To everyone who followed this saga, thank you for the support, advice, and laughs. To the guys who related to my story, know your worth. To the girls who said I went too far, maybe I did, but I regret nothing. To her, if she ever reads this, I hope you find what you're looking for. Just make sure it's real this time. I'm out. Time to be boring somewhere new. Final edit. For everyone asking, no, I'm not sharing my business name or website. This account will be deleted in 24 hours. Time to close this chapter completely. Final edit 2. Actually, one last thing. If you're in a relationship where you're being rated or treated as an option, leave. You're better than that. Don't wait for a live stream moment. Just go. Peace out, Reddit. It's been real. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed our videos, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.